Hello and welcome to this next episode of the Brits challenge. And basically, at the end of the last episode, if you watched it, I left you and I just completed the 2012 to 13 season, and now this time I've started the 2013 to 14 season. But first of all, let's review some of the signings I've made up until August. Okay, so I've signed Ryan Campbell from Ballymallard United. Now, he's had a great season for Ballymallard United last season, so he banged in lots of goals. So I signed him in just to provide some squad cover, because he is 33 years old, so I just got him in. And I also got David Healy from a free transfer, a good player. He is also squad cover. He's another striker. And then one of my biggest signings is Chris Haggerty from Rangers. I signed him for 150k, which is quite a lot of money for a side of my stance. Now, also big news in my club's front. Now, following our success in the Europa League last season, I requested at that time to go professional, and now at the end of the season they've confirmed I've gone professional, hence why I've now got big funds, and also my players are all turning over to full-time contracts. Now also, as well as Haggerty, who's a great centre-half, I've also signed Cowney Smith on a free transfer, who he used to play for Rangers, and he's 22 years old, and he's a striker, and hopefully can bang in the goals. He's not squad cover, he's to get into my squad. My biggest transfer, my most I've paid for anyone, is Paul Dummett, who I've signed. He's a left back, and he's former Newcastle player. Robert Wilson I've got in on loan from Hibernian, and then the other big ones who I've got are Dean Horrobine from Hibernian and Declan Hughes from Hibernian also. And that's it for what I've done in August. But also then in September, that was July, and then also in September I've signed Richard Pennicott on a free transfer and Alex Lynch also on a free transfer. So then, just looking at my fixtures, okay, so in my friendly games I've done quite well. Away from home, away from home at Dundalk, we drew 2-2, and then I beat Home Farm 4-0, Cockhill 4-1, and Drogheda Town 3-1. And then I had the Champions League qualifying 2, leg 1, who I faced IA from the Icelandic Premier Division, and I beat them 3-1 away from home. I had a friendly in between against H&W Welders, which I won 2-0. I hadn't played at home for all of my pre-season stuff. And then I had something called the British Trophy in the semi-final on TV at home. I lost 2-0 to Cardiff. I set up that friendly competition myself, and then the all-important game against IA again at home, I won 3-1 on TV to go through to the Champions League qualifying 3, where I faced H Tel Aviv, an Arab team, and at home I won 2-0. Just looking at the game, Wes Fletcher picked up a goal, Mark McAllister picked up the goals in the final 10 minutes of time. I then faced them again, obviously, in the second leg, which I drew 2-2 to go through on aggregate. And at Distillery, I kicked off the campaign with a nice 3-0 victory away from home. We were playing at the New Grosvenor Stadium, and Cowney Smith and Wes Fletcher picked up the goals. Cowes Naismith picking up 2, West Fletcher picking up 1 in a nice victory to kick off the campaign, which was then followed up by a 2-0 victory over Carrick. So some really cracking results really for my side. And then at home I faced the Champions League champions playoff. Now winning this game would or will mean I go through to the Champions League group stage for the first ever time under my management. And at home I got off to a great start with a 2-2 draw. So we went 1-0 down by Scott Brown in the 58th minute. Gary Hooper 2 minutes later made it 2-0. Then Chris Haggerty, a summer signing in the 79th minute, made it 2-1, and Wes Fletcher in the 90th minute gave us a point. Well, not a point, but he gave us a draw. At Cliftonville, I won 2-1 away from home before facing Donegal Celtic in the County Antrim Shield first round, which I won at home 3-0. And then away from home, unfortunately, I lost 6-2 to Celtic. It was on TV to exit the Champions League, but on the bright side, I got through to the Europa League group stage for a second subsequent year. But looking at the game, George Texera picked up the first goal of the game in the 22nd minute to give Celtic the lead. Gary Hooper doubled that advantage in the 32nd minute. Jamie Mulgrew drew us level in the 34th minute, so really gave us some hope. Rather cruelly gave us hope, because then in the 39th minute, Wes Fletcher made it 2-0, and I was like, yes, come on. And then in the 49th minute, Scott Brown got a goal, and Gary Hooper then buried us with goals in the 52nd, 84th and 90th plus 2 minutes, with one of the key moments in the game being Philip Lowry sending off in the 33rd minute, which really made it an impossible task for us to beat the Scottish champions. At home, then I faced Coleraine, who I beat 5-1. Looking at the game, David Armstrong, Nathan Hanley and Jamie Mulgrew all picked up goals, and Wes Fletcher also got 2 goals. He's been on fantastic form for the start of the season. Continuing down to so then finally I faced Ballynamallard United away from home in a big game. I was unbeaten in the league so far this season, and that continued with a nice 3-0 victory over the Ballynamallard side. David Healy, a summer signing, picked up a goal, and also Robert Wilson picked up a goal, and Nathan Hanley also got another goal. So Hanley's been on good form for me this season. But next episode I'll continue to play a few more games of my season. I'll review my January signings and also see how I get on in the Champions League Europa League group stage games that I've got lined up. But for now, I have been FXivGaming. Please like, subscribe or comment with your views on how I've done so far in my game and where you'd like to see me maybe plot my trade next, whether in the Welsh League probably, but obviously I've got a while till that happens anyway. And also please follow at FXivGaming on Twitter, and also check out FXivGaming's challenge. It's called the Decathlon Challenge. He has to go and win 10 different domestic titles. He started off at Shamrock Rovers, a club that I beat in the All-Ireland Cup final last season. Goodbye.